everyone, and welcome back. I'm super excited because today I have with me Mike Pointer from Hey, I Saw Your Commercial. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thanks for having me.
I want to go straight into the interview. Tell me what really, really made you want to get into the commercial business.
Well, I originally I was a singer. Right? I was a part of a group, and I was a singer, and I was a lead singer.
See, I didn't know that.
So we met some producer in Hollywood, and we started laying down tracks and stuff. And eventually, it just kind of faded. We had a voice coach, and she got kind of sick, and so I ended up. I met someone and said, "Hey man, you got a nice personality. You should do TV commercials." So I didn't know much about it, and I said, "Okay." So I met this agent, a person. They connected me with their agent, Sutton Barth Venari, SBV. They're still great, like a top 20 agency. And so I went and I auditioned for them. Well, really, I just sat down and talked to them. They said, "Oh, you got a nice personality. Let's sign him." So they signed me. And I started going on auditions, rough at first, because I just did not understand the process. And so even as a coach, as I explain to my clients now, as a coach, I understand why in the beginning I had so much failure. And it's because it was preparing me to gather more refined distinctions. Because I was able to go from not knowing what I was doing all the way to understanding how this game really works and understanding how to audition. So in between, of course it took some time, but in between, I learned what to do and what not to do. But now back then you couldn't have told me, "Oh, someday you're going to be coaching. That's why you're going through all of this. You're going to be leading other people."
You have to go through that process.
Right, but in between, from zero to hero, I gathered refined distinctions. And so as a coach, I'm able to understand and be sensitive to the needs of my actors when they say, "It's all falling apart. This is terrible." And I'm able to, I can meet them wherever they are, as opposed to the kind of coach that just says, "Oh, just go do it." Like a lot of actors hear a lot of crazy metaphors when they move to LA. They hear just pound the pavement, get your groove on, believe in yourself, think big, follow your dreams. None of this means anything. That's not a formula, right, for success. Like if you want to be a doctor, no one says, "Oh, just pound the pavement," right? They say, "Oh man, well you got to go to school and there's a formula for that and you got to get this degree and that." So what I was able to do over the years was actually craft out what I call a winning strategic game plan or a blueprint for actors to follow. And it got me really, really excited about the actors starting their career in television commercials, which in my opinion, as proof, the results are, it's the best way for you to start your career. It's one of the fastest ways to get on national television, become SAG eligible, and make great residual income.
Well, that makes a big difference of actually knowing where the actor is because you done been there.
Yes.
So that qualifies you to teach them.
Yes.
Because of acting coach by you knowing. So tell us a little bit about when a person hit LA and want to start their acting career.
So one of the biggest mistakes actors make when they move to LA, and I'm real hardcore on this, and some actors, they resist the wisdom because that's what it is.
We need the wisdom.
It's not advice, it's wisdom, right? They go do extra work. And the problem with that, and they're saying, "Oh, I got to get the 3 vouchers as fast as I can," and some spend 3 years or 4 years or 5 years trying to get 3 vouchers. But what it does, it develops a dependency. And the actor keeps going for the money. Well, it's my only source of income, and I know you got bills and gas and all that stuff, right? And I got to eat and so on. So what happens is now they get comfortable. And they keep doing extra work, and then a little light comes by, like a guy named Mike Pointer, and he'll say, "Hey, you need to break it. You got to get a good agent. You got to start going for the real money. Don't have a just over broke, a job. It's what I call a job, a just over broke, right? You need a real career." And then now, because they've developed this comfort or this dependency on extra work, it's hard for them to break it. But some will go out and half do it. They're dabblers. They'll get a good agent, right? And then the agent will call and say, "We have an audition for you. It's a network national, AT&T, McDowell, 200 South La Brea, out the dress nice casual." And the actor will actually not go on the casting.
Wow.
Because they're busy doing extra work.
Well, one of the things I know about you, you don't just teach them how to be in front of the camera for a commercial. You actually help them be in front of, agents and stuff like that. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, see, most actors go into a situation where when they meet with an agent, and some of the agents are kind of tough, like they grill you. They want to see if you're going to sit across from them and be nervous and terrified and not know what to say and get dry mouth and shaking and all that. And the agent's going to feel like, well, I mean, if you're nervous in front of me and I'm on your team, we become teammates. I'm supposed to be helping you. If you're terrified in front of me, I can only imagine when you go to a producer session.
Wow.
You know, because when I teach my actors, when you walk in a room and see 4 producers, your nervous system counts 8 producers.
Wow.
When it's 8 producers, your nervous system says it's 16 producers. So there's kind of a double effect. So some of the agents grill you, like they want to test you. They want to test and see, you know, how far can I push you to the outer edge of your envelope? Like, what can you take? So what I like to do is prepare actors for some of the different types of questions even an agent will ask, and then what questions not to ask an agent.
Wow.
Right? There's certain questions you just don't ask. The agent thinks you've done your homework, and that's like a waste of my time kind of question. And then there's certain things that you can't say to an agent in a meeting, especially when you're sitting on and say, so where are you from? Tell me a little bit about yourself, right? And the actor will start saying all this stuff, and they say, and I like to run, and I like the movies, and my favorite color is purple, I'm a vegan. So you can't say that.
Yeah.
You can't say that to a commercial agent.
Because they might have a commercial with meat.
Where you got to eat meat. That's
Wow.
right. And the agent might call the person to the carpet right there. Oh, wait, really, hold on a second. So you don't like meat products, or they'll just say, oh, okay, interesting. And it's really not interesting. It's really not okay. It's like, they're trying to find a way to close that meeting as quickly as they can now.
So what really made you come up with the name, Hey, I Saw Your Commercial?
Well, it's funny, I was writing a piece on this morning because I'm working on a new piece of branding material for my company, but people would see me out in public and they would say a couple different things. They would say, hey, are you in a commercial? Hey, did I see you in a commercial? Hey, is that you in a commercial? Or they'd say, hey, I saw your commercial. And so when I was trying to think of a way to name my company, because I didn't want to call it Mike Pointer Commercial Classes. I didn't want to call it, that's kind of boring, right? I said, I'll brand my own personal name later. I said, I want something catchy. I want something that's so odd people will remember it. So that's when I wrote all the stuff down. People say, hey, I saw your commercial. Hey, are you in a, and I picked, hey, I saw your commercial.
Wow.
Right? I was like, I like this. And I tested it and asked a few people, but I mainly had to count on my own belief, because I would, even when I launched the company, people would say, what's it? Hey, I saw, what is that? And I'd say, hey, I saw your commercial. One lady, I'll never forget, she went, what? What? Like it was disease or something, you know? And I said, hey, why do you call it that? And then I explained, well, because people see me and they recognize me from some big job I've done, big commercial, and they'll say, hey, are you in a, hey, I saw. And so that's the name I picked.
Do you actually have time to still act, or you just solely coaching?
See, what happened to me, and my clients ask me all the time, Coach Mike, do you still go out on auditions? Do you still go? And actually, I don't. I'm on hiatus right now because I found my true love, which is coaching. I believe, because I'm 52, so I believe at my age, I'd better know what I'm going to do with the rest of my time here on planet Earth. And I better be like really serious about it. You know, how can I serve mankind to the fullest? How can I really enjoy serving? Not just having a job, but so when I learned about 4 or 5 years into it that I'd always focus on week number 3 of my level 1 company. It was some course material we covered and some things I would say that would make me leave my class, and I felt like I didn't even need to drive home. I want to fly home because of the subject matter. And some people get teary-eyed and stuff in the class, and I was like, man, this is it. I love coaching actors. I'm gonna still go on commercial auditions, but I think I found the reason I was born.
Well, I know you got a book right there that's talking about, you know, how to book TV commercials. And
I finally published this thing.
That's amazing.
I always had the material because I create tons of content. But I'd never really put it in a book format. And I'm working on my second book also. It's not so much commercial related, but it's called, well, I have a couple of different titles for it, but it's The United Takes on America.
Wow.
So it's not the United States of America, but The United Takes on America. And I know we just had our election, and I don't want to get into that. So people kind of have to calm down and get their senses back. But you know, I do want to see the unification of our country and of humankind. And it's not up to a president either. It's up to us, right? How can you expect one person to unify 350 million people when half of those people don't like him?
Yeah.
Right? Barack Obama is at a 52% approval rating right now. So that means 48% of the people, if I'm doing my math correctly, don't care for the guy. No, we have to do the unification.
Well, it's almost still go with doing commercials, even though you might not like whatever the commercial is.
Yes.
But it's the fact that this commercial is going to add to other people as well as to your own self.
Yes, yes. I feel this is like my way of doing it, is to put my materials out, have actors read it, and have actors come to me as a place not only for the entertainment industry, but just how to think different.
Well, you are a very psychological helper.
Yeah, I mean, it's the other thing that I love to do. I mean, I'm not just about the commercial industry, but just like the whole life of the performer. And sometimes people say, Mike Pointer digress in his classes, but yeah, sometimes I talk about relationship. Your relationship's gonna affect your work.
Really?
It's gonna affect your audition. You don't wanna be at an audition mad at your significant other and I'm supposed to be focused here on camera. So if you're gonna have peace in your home and peace in your relationships and peace with your children and peace with the outer world, right? To where I feel like I'm in a place of comfort in my life where I can reach out and extend and even be great on the elevator. Some actors lose opportunities on the elevator. Wow. They're not even in front of the camera because they let the elevator doors close in someone's face and all they had to do is push the button and then they get off on the 4th floor and they see the person that they let the elevator doors close in and it was the director, producer, brand manager, right? Wow. So again, I'm trying to work with the psyche of the actor, not just what to do in front of the camera, but the psyche of the actor as well. The 10 reasons why actors don't book work, right? Number 1, lifestyle is out of alignment with their goals as an actor. Procrastination, fear of taking risks, poor thought life, cynicism, desperate for the approval and the acceptance of others, comparing yourself with other actors, perfectionism, poor self-image, poor self-worth, won't let go of so-called past failures, and then lack of overall self-confidence, the belief that you are not overall.
Well, I want people to be able to make sure that they, continue to follow you. So just let everybody know how they can just continue to just stay in touch with you, come to the class, audit the class. Hey, I saw your commercial and all that awesome stuff.
Am I able to say website here?
Yes, say it. Okay. It sounds good.
But what I like to do is get actors started with me at my free class. I do
free,
way too many of them. But it's a free. I do 16 free classes a month. Free. Yes. So I like for actors to come in, get an idea, observe my energy, and I don't be cussing or anything like that. Like my bishop says, you will not hear one jot or tittle of profanity come out of my mouth. I just don't feel I need it. And I like for them to come and get a free take. They get on camera, they work, I share great information. It's about a 90-minute free class. Wow. And I ask those to go to heyisawyourcommercial.com. So spelled as it sounds, HEYISAWYOR, right? Commercial.com. And there's several free class dates there weekly.
Wow.
They're about 70, no more than 90 minutes. Okay. I love for actors to come in and get a free audit, see what they're getting before they ever drop a penny.
Well, I thank you so much for being on the show. It was just a pleasure to have you and kind of just reinvented something on the inside of me. So thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. And